Start, please.
Smart Business Account for SMEs. Being a business owner is a role that changes constantly. At JMMB Bank, we offer a new type of partnership. We understand and care about the unique needs that come with operating a small or medium-sized business by offering flexibility, partnership, and expert advice to support your successful growth. For you, we've created the JMMB Smart Business Account. The JMMB Smart Business Account is an interest-bearing checking account for registered businesses with an annual revenue of under $450 million, or US dollar equivalent, which gives you the opportunity to maximize the value of every dollar earned. The benefits? No nuisance fees. Never have to deal with monthly service fees, account dormancy fees, and minimum monthly balance requirements. Easy payments. Enjoy free bill payment and free inter- and intra-bank automated clearinghouse ACH transfers within Jamaica. Interest accumulation. Earn interest and grow your company's money over time. Interest is calculated daily and paid monthly. One free manager's check per month. Check leaves available upon request, or ask about our special pay-as-you-go check feature. Speak to a JMMB Bank representative today to see how the JMMB Smart Business Account, along with our Small Business Loan Solutions and SME Resource Center, can support you in growing your business. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn at JMMB Group, or visit our website, jm.jmmb.com. JMMB SME Resource Center, a partnership that goes above and beyond. Because you need more than just a bank, we are committed to offering support and guidance to small and medium-sized businesses, or SMEs, every step of the way. The JMMB SME Resource Center ensures that you are prepared to access JMMB's banking, investment, and insurance brokerage services, along with our business planning expertise. The center provides customized advice to take your business to the next level. The JMMB SME Resource Center will help you to identify financial opportunities, develop a professional business plan, structure financial statements, and solve business challenges with the help of our network of business partners. Are you ready to grow your SME with JMMB? Speak to one of our JMMB SME representatives to find out how we can partner with you. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at JMMB Group, or visit our website at jm.jmmb.com.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the JMMB SME Resource Center workshop on boosting productivity through organization. I am Tanise from JMMB SME Resource Center. And on behalf of my entire team, let me just say thanks to everyone for joining us for tonight's workshop. As customary here at JMMB, we will be beginning tonight's session with a word of prayer, as well as a section from JMMB's Vision of Love document. Two of my team members, Natalia and Yalisa, will be leading us through these activities. Natalia, you can go ahead and start with a word of prayer. Thank you.
Thanks, Denise. Good evening, everyone. So let's bow our heads and close our eyes. Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to bring us all together here this afternoon. I pray that you bless our facilitator as well as all of our attendees, allow us to have a very productive session, allow us to retain all of the information that is shared and exchanged. And please, for those who are on the road or who may be out still, please return them home safely to their families. In your name I pray, amen.
Amen. And now for the reading of the Vision of Love, I'll be reading from the challenging section of the Vision of Love. The atmosphere at JMMB, the atmosphere that JMMB is in the process of developing may be defined as an energy field where overlapping circles of creativity, passion, excitement, fun, and laughter coexist in a dynamic process that ultimately leads to higher and higher levels of self-actualization. Hence, the achievement of the organizational mission. This is a loving, caring, and honest atmosphere where ideas are valued and shared openly, where a balance is created between aspirations and practical aspects of work and life, between actualization and potential. There is no fear, no limitations, no boundaries. Team members are therefore expected and encouraged to be genuine, taking responsibility to express anything they feel, knowing that it is safe to do so. To ensure this, JMMB is committed to providing an open forum for ideas to be discussed, tested, and implemented in order to help each other grow. That's the end of the reading of the Vision of Love.
Thank you so much, Natalia and Yelisa. And if you are interested in reading the entire Vision of Love document, it is posted on JMMB's website, www.jmmbs.com. So please go ahead and take a read. As we proceed tonight's activity, I will be asking for microphones muted. We, however, do want to have an interactive session, and we want you to ask all the questions and get all your answers. So if you do have questions as we proceed through the session, I'm going to ask that you use the raise hand button. So just indicate that you want to ask a question, and we'll let you know when you can go ahead and ask the question. You may also utilize our chat window. So you can indicate your question there, and we'll ensure that it is acknowledged and addressed. We have also indicated our email address in the chat window. So if you would like to reach out to us after the session, please feel free to send us an email. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. For tonight's session, we have with us, and we're happy to have both JMMB and non-JMMB clients. So I will begin by giving us a synopsis of what happens at the JMMB SME Resource Centre. We are, first of all, we're a regional department. We operate in Trinidad, and we also operate here in Jamaica. We work with our clients in order to help them to achieve their goals and help them to move through the different stages of the business life cycle. For us, it's a partnership. And what we aim to do is to help you achieve your goals by giving you the right solutions. And those solutions, they can either be JMMB solutions, or it can be a solution that is provided by our partners. And these are persons that we have personally vetted to ensure that you will be getting superior service. And we have partners in areas such as business development, marketing, HR support, and among many others. And how it is that we ensure that you are getting the best solution is that we conduct what we call our needs assessments conversation. Now, this is a conversation that is designed to identify the needs of you, the business owner, as well as your business. From there, we also ensure that you have access to business tools that can assist you. We provide mentorship, and we have workshops such as this one tonight, and our workshops, they are sometimes open, such as tonight, where both JMMB and non-JMMB clients can attend. And we also have closed workshops that are only for JMMB SME Resource Centre clients. For our workshops that are fun, they are on our They are on our YouTube, so that's JMMB's YouTube channel. So if you'd like to see what it is that we have discussed in the past, please feel free to visit our YouTube page and enjoy our sessions. If it is that you would like to become an SME Resource Center client, please reach out to us and we'll let you know how you can join the family. For persons who are existing JMMB clients, another benefit that you can utilize is our SME Directory. And our SME Directory is a directory comprising of our JMMB SME clients. What we do is we share this directory so that they can make either business contacts or future customers. So we are about helping our clients to network. So now that you know what it is that we do in the Resource Center, I'd love for you to meet the team. And I'm going to ask my teammate, Natalia, who is our SME Resource Center specialist in Trinidad, to introduce the team that is here tonight. Natalia?
Thanks, Denise. Good evening again, everyone. And like Denise said, my name is Natalia Rahamatullah. I am the SME Resource Center Strategy Officer in Trinidad and Tobago. And joining me this evening, you've already had the pleasure of meeting Denise. Denise is our SME Resource Center Officer, and she is responsible for the Montego Bay and Ocho Rios areas. So if you're in any of those areas and you need Resource Center help, Denise is your girl. We also have with us Mr. Vincent Auld, and Mr. Vincent Auld is our Senior SME Resource Center Officer, and he is responsible, well, I should say attached to the Mandeville, Maypen, and Horton branches. We also have Ms. Paula Forrest. She is our SME Resource Center Officer attached to the Knutsford, Horton, and Portmore branches. So you know exactly who to go to if you're ever in the area and you need someone to talk to immediately. Those are your go-to people. We also have Yelissa, who gave us the reading from the Vision of Love, and she is our SME Administrative Assistant within the Resource Center. So this is the team this evening, and Denise, I'm going to hand back over to you so we could get started with the session.
Thank you so much, Natalia. So as I said before, the objective of the Resource Center is to assist our clients to grow. And so what we ensure that we do is we address topics that are beneficial to you. So through our interactions with our SMEs, what we recognize is that one of the main challenges that they have is just being organized and achieving their goals within, their business goals within a timely frame. So we designed this workshop to provide you with guidelines in terms of how you can organize and ensure that you achieve your deliverables within the specified and required time. To help us with that tonight, we have with us Mrs. Althea Waters. And Althea is a trainer. She's a productivity coach and a business administration manager. She holds the master's degree in human resource development from the University of West Indies, Mona. And she's also certified change process practitioner. She also holds a certificate in organization design from the Arthur L.O.K. Jack School of Business. She is the CEO of her company, Blazing Beyond, and she works closely with leaders, managers, and entrepreneurs and their team to improve productivity, performance, and leadership to ensure that they achieve their business goals. Althea is passionate about helping our clients maximize their productivity and stay focused. She strongly believes in the statement, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And I think that's an excellent platform to hand you off to Althea. Althea, I hand you over to my attendees tonight.
All right, thank you so much, Denise. How is everybody doing tonight? Can you hear me clearly? Is there an echo?
No, we are hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, all right, wonderful. All right, it's good to be here. And I realize that you gave me a task at hand in sharing with the audience to talk about boosting productivity through organization. Now, guys, these are some heavyweight words. We're hearing boosting, productivity, organization, all in one statement. So this must be some heavy duty stuff. And we know that, you know, when we come on and talking about productivity and organization, it's not easy. It's very easy to talk about, but it's not easy to put into action. So it's my pleasure to be here. And Deidre Clunis, big up yourself. I saw your first coming in and saying good evening all, and thank you so much. I just didn't want to nuff up myself as yet, but I wanted to acknowledge you for being the first out the blocks to greet us. Now, as we go through, we're really going to talk about, by the way, we can't solve everything tonight. We can't solve everything tonight. But we're going to be talking about some things that, you know, affects us as small business owners. We're going to be talking about, you know, organization, overwhelm. How can we boost our productivity? And what I do through my business, Blazing Beyond, is really to help people to move from overwhelm to organize, to help small business owners, by the way, to move from overwhelm to organize, to move you through a series of clarity and functionality. And so that is what we actually want to focus on tonight. And I am very excited and happy to see everybody. Normally, we don't want to see everybody's face, but I understand how it goes after hours and things, and some of us may be driving and not in the ideal location. So here's what I want you to do for me. I want you to listen in very, very keenly, right? And while I may not be able to see everything in the chat, I want you to acknowledge in the chat. Is this you? We're talking to, I know there may be individuals on this call as well. We are, you know, I'm talking to the SMEs, but I know what I'm sharing tonight can add value both in your individual life, in your career, your family, all of these things, right? And we're going to get to some bottom of some stuff, but we're not going to solve everything tonight. With me? Is this you as an SME? You're the legal person in your business. You're the salesperson. You're the IT. You're the graphic artist. You're the web design. You're the client customer care. So when them call and say customer care, say, please hold. And hi, how can I help you? You're the same person. You're the admin. Is this you? And at the same time, you are the strategic thinker. Put it in the chat. Say, me this, or this is me, right? Whichever suits you best. Me this, or this is me. If that is you, put it in the chat. Are you playing several roles in your business?
We have a lot of yeses in the chat, Althea.
Okay,
we have someone saying a few hats are missing.
Yes. Yeah, man, if I you that, you right. This is me, all right? Me this. So that's great. So you get in there, okay? So we're acknowledging that we're playing so many roles. And what it will end up doing is looking like this lady on the right. She looks stressed out, not true? She look like nobody remind me about nothing, nobody tell me about no financials, nobody tell me about no email, nobody tell me about anything, right? This is what it's looking like. So we're playing so many roles, right? And yet still we are the one to drive the business. We are the ones to get the revenues through the door. Ain't that challenging? So let us explore what it really looks like or what it really means. You're wearing too many hats. You feel overwhelmed and burnt out at the end of the day or the week. You're putting in the hours, but you need to put in less hours, right? And on the back end and focus on some other things. You have ideas that you need to organize and strategize, and the list continues because you want the business to grow as well. You have all the information you need to implement, but somehow you don't have the capacity. You have some systems in place. You either need to get rid of some of the old systems, put in some refreshed systems that can work for you, or just revamp, right? You keep forgetting to check on important areas of your business. And ladies and gentlemen, if this actually is coming up often for you where something is happening, that you need to plug because you're focusing on some areas and you're not focusing on the others, right? you're guessing what needs to be done in your business, or you're avoiding not doing some of the things. Now, this is a long list and it could get longer, but I want to hear from you. Are any of these resonating with you? 2 or 3. You can put it in the chat, or you can also unmute. I will take points. I will take about 2 or 3 persons. Is this resonating with you? 2 or 3, and which ones are resonating with you the most? Are you seeing yourself showing up right here?
Yeah.
Yes, you want to acknowledge that person for me, Tanis?
And I think it's Mr. Graham. It's a little bit muffled.
Yeah. Yeah, this is me, Courtney Graham from Nets Communication. And what the thing then for me is some systems in place, but I would like to have more.
You have some systems in place, but would like to have more. If
Yeah.
you're aware of those systems, it's important that you make a list of them, what you would like more of. Because sometimes, you know, we'll want more of something, but we want to make sure more of the right thing that we need, right? We know we need the systems, but we really need to think about where in the business do you need some systems and processes. So thank you so much, Mr. Graham, for sharing. Anyone else in terms of how it is resonating with you? What areas are popping up for you?
Cabell has indicated that she avoids what needs to be done.
Okay, Cabell, avoiding what needs to be done. No, that can cause a lot of things, right? Because we know we need to do the things, and then it's gonna just turn into a mountain. It's just gonna grow, right? And we're not gonna have the time when it is time to actually focus on it.
So it's not all the time, just sometimes.
Okay, Cabell, confession good for the soul, you know, confession. But we're having some honest conversations tonight, all right? You're seeing others in the chat.
Yes, we also have Ms. Carotas. She indicated that she has ideas but need to organize and strategize to help our business thrive and grow.
Yeah, how many of us have the ideas in our head just floating? We don't do nothing about them yet. We don't write them down. We don't do anything about them as yet. How many of us as business owners, we know we have plans to grow the business. We know we have plans to either make an aspect of the business more refined or more organized, but we have not done anything about it. The ideas are just there floating in your head. Is it me? Is this me? Me this? I am the one that have all of these ideas and doing nothing about it, right?
Yannick and Karen is
Or
right
have not
here
yet.
with you.
So, to burnout to execute, I think I glimpsed that one. I was trying to go on the chat, right?
Denisha says time management is a major issue, especially someone that also has a full-time job.
Okay, great. And especially when you have a full-time job and you are executing your business, you need these skills like yesterday, right? You need them because that is what is going to keep you to make sure that you keep your business at the forefront and all things are working well. So thank you so much for that. If anything, we can come back to some of them. Now, we're talking about how are we going to boost productivity through organization? And the things that have been coming up for you is burnout. When I talk to SMEs or even when I observe, I'm overwhelmed, right? So overwhelm lead to burnout, and then there's so many impacts. Now, I want you to look at this picture on the screen of this the matchsticks that are there and how they're standing tall. You see how the first one light a fire and still stand strong? The second one still standing strong? And the third one, do you know why? Because when the overwhelm starts and the burnout starts, You don't notice it at the beginning. You feel a little stressed, but you feel that, no man, I can work this out. I can manage this. I have the capacity. I can do all of these things. And you are just going. Now, overwhelm is caused by a lot of things. Overwhelm is caused by a lot of things. But if you look at how this matchstick is deteriorating, losing all the energy, right? It's burning out. And then most times when it gets to this last 2 stage is when we notice it. True or false? So we are in the business doing so much. But if we pause some of the times to just take in some proper planning, some proper organization, some things will improve. Taking care of ourselves will improve. So overwhelm leading to burnout, you don't notice it immediately. And overwhelm can be caused by many things. You can put in the chat why you feel overwhelmed. Why do you feel overwhelmed? Not just, why do you feel overwhelmed? Overwhelm can be caused by indecision, not making decisions in your business that you need to make. Indecision, meaning that you're carrying so many things on your brain, leading to overwhelm, leading to emotional exhaustion. That's the impact. Overwhelm, is it Cavell? I think it's Cavell was her name. Is also caused through avoidance of not doing things in your business. You actually can feel stressed out. So these things that are impacting us, causing and leading to burnout, they all come together from somewhere. And it starts by how you are showing up in the business and what are the things that you're focusing on or not focusing on. So here are the impacts. We have emotional exhaustion. How many times, because a lot of times, the weight that you carry is really on your brain, on your mind. Is that true? Carrying around these things. I see some people read overwhelm in terms of doing too much, trying to get to perfectionism. The more you procrastinate, which is really avoidance, stress, trying to do everything. All of this mental exhaustion, all of this emotional exhaustion that we're experiencing, that's the burnout. That is when we get into the last 2, matchstick. So you're going, that emotional exhaustion is now going on to physical exhaustion. So hear what now? You don't feel like going nowhere. You have things to do. You don't feel like doing it. It's just not working out for you because you're emotionally drained and then you're physically drained. And then what does that lead to? Reduced personal accomplishment. So things that you had to do in the business where you had, if I had 4 things to do, I'm doing 1. If I had 10 things to do, I'm doing 3. You start to see that decline. That's decline in your productivity. All of these things go back to that. So what it is really causing when you're doing less, you're actually using more effort. Now, if you want to be productive, you cannot be using so much effort to do one thing. It's just not going to work. So if it is going to be a whole heap of effort just to do one thing, then you have to check back and see what's going on with you. Questions, comments, how me stay?
Althea, Rochelle here. You stay good. You're stepping on my toes.
We stay good. Look here, it's some corn, it's some corn short in the field.
Burning, corns are burning, they're burning.
People are saying you're calling them out.
That's good. This is a reflection session right now, because if we're going to be moving to productivity or organization, we have to check yourself. You can't achieve that without checking yourself. I don't have a magic pill. I don't have a magic bullet, but I have processes, tips, and techniques to get you moving. We have to check yourself. So, okay, I'm seeing Chris Charlie saying, why are you in my head? Okay, Karen says you're calling me out. Well, I think they brought me here to call you out, Karen, right? All right, guys. So if you have questions, you can ask me as we're going along. We're moving along. So now that we're clear about where we stand with playing these roles in the business, with how we contribute. Oh, what a word they're giving a problem for tonight, man. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Contribute. Right. How we contribute to our own overwhelm and burnout is important to realize. That's important because sometimes we are our own trigger. Give me 1 second, guys. Just gonna make a simple adjustment. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are.
All right, thank you. All right, so once we know where we are, so we are at the point where if you end up with reduced personal achievements at the end of a week, at the end of a month, at the end of a quarter in your business, you're dragging yourself physically to go in to do things or even to have conversations, we realize that we reach the point of burnout. And we don't want to be using more effort to get things done. We're supposed to be using less effort, but less if you really want to achieve productivity. Less effort don't have to come through you only. It can come through other systems and processes. So as I progress, would you want to achieve this? Nice. An organized business backend operations and still be able to achieve a balanced life. Now, many SMEs, once they started their business, guess what was the goal? The first goal may have been, or most likely, to make some money, right? We want to make some money. But you know what is usually the second goal? Everybody wants to have freedom of their time and control of their time in their business. True? So when we move into the business now and we're doing the business and we don't have no time to do nothing, what is the problem? No, we have to fix that problem. Because after we make the money, we said we want control of our time and freedom and more time to have balanced life and more time to do this. As a business owner, I can choose my time, I can pick my schedule, I can do all of these things. Now, if that was also part of your goal, by the way, I need to know if it was a part of your goal or is just me fool and think that that's a part of the goal as well. Because we wanted freedom and control of our time. But the more we get deeper into the business, then you realize the concern about I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to spend with family, probably a family costing you say just doing business. So you want to make sure that can we go back to achieving this? Can we spend some time, organize some things so that we can also organize ourselves to be able to achieve that lovely picture of a balanced life?
We have a lot of people agreeing in the chat.
So that's excellent. Excellent, because we knew from jump that after we make the money, we want to have like a control. We want to set our own schedule, want to know when we want to work, that's it. So yes, I'm going to spend a little time with you. This is a little exercise that I want you to do. If you don't have a little piece of paper, just work it out in your head or you write. And I also want to see it how it translates in the chat, right? Where do you spend your time mostly in your business? And we're gonna do this out of 100, the percentage out of 100. I just categorize these areas. I thought they were common areas. So out of 100, right, in sales that is generating the business, remember we want to make money. Marketing in terms of, making your presence be felt, making awareness of your business and your product, etc. Your admin and operations and the back end, attending to your client needs, accounting areas, or if there's another one that you want to add or insert. Out of 100, say for example, just think this through. I spend 10% in sales, 20% in marketing, 50% in admin operations, 5% dealing with the client matters, 30% dealing with accounting. I know that maths don't add up to 100, but you know what to do. So I want you to just spend a couple minutes, about 5 minutes or so, just make a note. Make a note of how much time you spend in these areas, the percentage out of 100, and then let's chat. So give about a minute. And I want to hear from you.
Okay, so we have one answer so far, Althea. Kerry, she manufactures snacks. So she says 80% of her time is in production.
Just producing the goods. So, okay. So who's selling the goods, Kerry?
Hi, good afternoon. You're hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, I also sell it, but how it is structured is that I can have select days where I do a large amount, or I have drop-off points where I have other persons pick up. And I really want to move from the 80% because it's driving me crazy. But that's my goal and working towards it, because there are other areas that my time should be spending on, especially marketing. That's one of the areas that I really, really want to focus more on, that I'm not really focusing on. I mean, I've been getting a lot of word of mouth, and basically most of my sales are coming from that area. Go to that. Yes. So yeah, I'm hoping to move from that very soon.
You don't need to move from it, Well, yes, you need to, if it's 80% production, because I don't know if you have a team with a team. I don't know how your business is structured, but if it is that there's no, you don't have anybody else to help you with production, so it can freeze up your time to go and focus on the other areas, maybe that's something we can look into.
That's what I've been looking into, but what I find is that there's some aspect of it where it's very difficult to get like persons who can cover that aspect, which will free up my time. And that's what I'm really working on, some of the aspect of my business, that someone who can be as skilled as I am, that I can trust to lead them.
Yes. So when we're talking about organizing and strategizing for our business, this is what we are also to look at. How much time am I spending in one area that I can do in other areas? I see somebody, Ozette was doing some whole heap of maths, but it looked like she gone over 100 now. So we don't know how that is working out or how that is showing up. But Kerry, thank you. That was Kerry, right? Thank you for sharing and being first out of the blocks. It shows that you're aware of what is happening. You are aware of how you should reorganize or restructure yourself in order to give more focus in different areas. So Tanis, I don't know if you want to take, we probably can't take everything, but I'll take about 3 and they can go on live mic.
Okay, so next up was actually Unique, and Unique said that she does 70% in sales, 10 clients, I'm assuming that's customer service, 10 in admin, and another 10 in accounting, and 0 for marketing.
I was here busy, ready to write the percentage. So that you have 70% in sales, client matters 10%, and maybe I don't know if it is, I don't know what kind of client matters you have. You know, admin 10%, accounting 10%, and nothing in marketing. Now, if you're going to reorganize or restructure your time, looking at what tools you need, looking at what resources you need, then you realize that marketing is a gap. What are you going to do about it, right? And remember, marketing all the time don't mean that you have to show up live. As I go on, I will also share with you about that. I see Chris has raised his hand.
Good evening, Althea. Nice to be here this evening. Country boy here from the hills of Brownstown in St. Anne.
Okay.
Yes, we have internet and we have light too.
Hey, that's nice, because right now I'm pressing my internet all up.
Okay.
Done.
The question I have, you see, is that I'm not seeing something on this page that really applies to businesses, and that is people management. Right. You're managing your staff.
Sure. Yes.
I don't know if that falls into the other category, but in my business, I would have to say that's I spend about 60% of my time dealing with employees.
Mm-hmm.
And their various issues and schisms and isms and getting the work done, which leaves very little time for me to do everything else.
Yes. So how is that working for you? Are you the only person? Do you have anybody else on your team that can help with that?
Well, I do.
That can be groomed to being that person to help with the people matters. If it is that you are one of the engines of the business that need to be freed up to do other things.
Right. I would say yes, I do. But I guess we need to have from what you've been saying so far, maybe we need to have a discussion outside of this forum. Because I do like your approach. I've been, a lot of coaches come your way all the time, but your approach is pretty solid. Is really being able to take, I call it the drone view. People used to say the bird's eye approach, but I call it the drone approach in modern times, where someone can look from above what exactly is happening. How are these pieces fitting together? Which are the pieces that are not fitting? Why is it not fitting? And sort of either push or ease you into making some decisions. And I remember going to a seminar once, and the person was bold enough to say that sometimes you need to sell the business you're operating because it's going to kill you.
Yes. And we don't want to get to that stage. Remember the matches then burn out and dry up? But thank you so much, Chris, in terms of sharing. And yes, that is a bulk of the business owners where you have a lot of people issues to deal with. We can't escape them, but we can prepare for some of them, right? And that is where I would want you, that's why I asked the question, who else can help you take this on? Because you don't need to be the one to do all of that. If it is that there's somebody to groom just to help you, to take care of that. We'll take one more, Tanis. Thank you so much, Chris. But yes, we can have conversations post this session.
I look forward to that.
Great. So the third response came from Mr. Graham, and Mr. Graham said that he does 20% in sales, 60% in operation, and 10 in admin.
Repeat.
Hold on. 20% sales, 60% operation, and 10% admin.
Oh, okay. And 10% admin. All right, so Mr. Graham, you would have seen the gaps, or where you need to spend more time, or where you need to get resources to help you to plug those gaps, right? Because there would be areas in your business that you really would want to organize a little better so that you can focus, or even organize yourself to focus better on it. So if it is that it's not you who is going to do that, I don't know if you have anybody else in the business, then you're going to need resources to help you with the other areas.
May I interject? The
Sure.
other areas, have other system in place, because I have another person manage the marketing for me, and I also have another person manage the accounting for me.
Okay.
These are the three areas, and pretty much for me, I basically
That you personally take care of. So those areas are outsourced, because that's
Yeah,
a
but-
part of organization as well.
It's not really outsourced. It's personal. It's some of my business partners take care of those other areas.
Okay. Okay. One last one, Tanis. Thank you so much, Mr. Graham.
Right, so next up was Cassie. That's 70% production, 25% admin. Trying to be, I don't think that's 100. Oh, sales is, I'm not seeing the other percentages. Cassie, do you want to just go ahead and give us the breakdown verbally?
To reach 95% already, you know, with
95,
production and
okay,
admin.
sorry.
Yeah, I think I was going to put like I was going to go over 100 and put 15% in admin, and it was just I couldn't figure out how to get it on the 100, being honest.
Okay, but you realize, Cassie, that there are other areas that you need to structure and organize yourself to support your business.
Yes, I do. But the good thing is that I'm not responsible for those areas.
Okay, all right. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for just showing up for yourself tonight, because that's important for us to know where we are, so that we need to know where we are going. Very important. So thank you very much. Now, we talk about time. We talk about lack of time. We talk about we don't have no more time. How much time would you want more in the day? Anybody want some more time? How much time would you want more in the day if you're supposed to get some more time? How much time would just make everything okay? 1 hour, half an hour, 3 hours?
Another 24.
Okay, 24 hours, 5 more hours. Okay. So, you know, if we say, okay, let me give you some more time, we're all gonna say that we need so much, right? We need all of this time. We need some more time in the day, and that will just be good. We're good, right? So when we talk about time, I will complain about time, we don't have much time, whatever it is. So the truth about time and time management, and I told you I can't solve every problem tonight, but we're going to touch on some things. So we can't manage time. Anybody think that they could have managed time? We can't manage time. So let me just X that out tonight. When you walk away from here tonight, you cannot manage time, right? Nor can we hang on to this clock like this gentleman is doing, trying to save it. It does not work. It does not exist. If I knew where that is, where there's something where the time is, wherever I would go there and hold on to it long time, right? So we can't manage time, nor can we save it. But what we can do, what we have control over to do, is to manage ourselves. It's to manage our energy. It's to manage our own processes that can make us more efficient, make us more effective. That is what we can do. We can hang on to time and hold on to it and say, look here, time at 6:30 now, you hold on because I need 2 hours of things to do and you better stay at 6:30, because if it is, you move, you're gonna have problems. It don't work like that. So because we can only manage ourselves and manage our own energy, managing our process, let us put the process them in. Let us organize some processes and some systems to help us. That's what we want to do. So we want to focus on really, how am I going to do the self-management? How am I going to do all of those things that is going to help us to improve the use of time? Because that's what we can do. Improve the use of time. We can't manage it. But of course, the word time management has been around for centuries, and the word is not going to be erased. And so I use it too. But just in the back of your head, you can only manage yourself. You can only manage your own productive energy, and you can only manage the processes that you have in place so that you can use time more effectively. I'm pausing here for questions or comments.
So we have a couple comments in the chat. Karen is saying it all boils down to time management. She also said no matter how much time we get, we will still exceed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How do we feel about the point about, look, you can only manage yourself, you can only manage your energy, you can only manage your processes? How do we feel about that? Why is that so important to know? Because remember, this is something that we all struggle with. Even the best of the best have to go back to center, go back to beginning. Just go back. Glenisha, I see a hand raised.
Good night, everyone. So I agree with what you said, because as I raised the point earlier in relation to, you know, time management, I'm working a full-time job and have my business on the side. It really comes down to discipline and how I, you know, manage myself. What are some of the things I can eliminate that are really, you know, distracting me, and discipline. That's a very important thing in, you know, time management. So I agree with you, and I'm glad that you share this perspective, because I've never heard that before, and it's really something to think about.
Okay, thank you, Glenisha. Yes, and discipline, yes, that's a key word. Commitment and consistency in achieving all of this is important. And I'm glad you raised the point, and I'm glad you also can connect with it. Because the more we actually get a chance to reflect on something, to reflect on those things that are really impacting us negatively in how we use our time and even how we organize ourselves, and that is going to lead to productivity or non-productivity. It's important, but a lot of times we really don't pause because we're just doing. So thank you for that.
So we have a couple other comments coming into the chat. Michelle says, I agree, this allows more focus and discipline and ultimately adds value. And Karen also added, because we can automate different aspects of our business and outsource those we can't afford a full staff to do.
Yeah, because there's some persons who can afford resources and staffing. There's some persons who can put more processes and systems in place to help them. And that's really what we want to get to. We really just need to make a decision. We really just need to make a decision. So as I am moving along, touching on, is there a point, a question?
Yeah, sorry. I was sharing Karen's comment. She said that it's about self-mastery, acknowledging when you need help, and also maximizing your strength through the use of system and processes for the areas we are weak in.
Excellent. You said that was Karen?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Yes, it is. Oh, no, give Karen a prize, no man. Me not have no prize. Excellent. Touching on all of those areas, it means, you know, you are fully aware. You are fully aware what needs to be done. You are fully aware how to function and how to achieve that goal of really being productive and organized. So we're going to be touching on 3 areas that lead to improved productivity and performance. And I'm not saying that no other areas exist in the world. These 3 areas from my perspective tonight. Now, we're looking at clarity. And when we talk about clarity, we're talking about clarity of mind, having coherent thoughts, having clear thinking. Because a lot of times we're showing up in the business, we may not have clarity to think and execute. Now, if you don't have clarity, there's no organization. And if you don't have organized processes, ways of doing things in your business, there's no functionality, right? So those are the 3 key areas that we're looking at. Clarity in terms of the more clear you are in terms of your thinking, in terms of even to think about the future of your business, to think about how am I going to engage with this client? How am I going to do this? When you have clarity, you move faster. When you have clarity, you move faster. Your steps are more clear. When your steps are more clear, you can organize better and you can become more productive. When you have a level of organization in your business, and we're not going to try achieve 100%, but there are just some things that, some foundation things that you just need to get organized in buckets in order for you to execute them. When you have that, and then you can put your process in place, you get a little functionality. You realize that, you know, I am not doing so good in this area, or this is not working, so let us focus on these other areas. So clarity, make sure you write them down or take a picture. Organization and functionality are 3 key areas that can lead to improved productivity and performance. Thought I heard a voice, not sure what it is.
I think his mic probably was just not muted.
Okay, all right, no problem. So we're clear on that? If we're clear and have clarity right now, just write clarity in the chat, clarity. Just want to know that we have clarity based on what we're doing right now.
Yes, Karen is clear and Chantal
yes,
is
so I want to know that you have some clarity and yes, and you're hearing me. And I am also sounding clear and coherent when I'm speaking with you. Wonderful. Now we get to some juicy stuff, and I'm going to share with you a process to help you focus and to help you be organized. Now I'm sharing with you my do it framework. So Nike cannot sue me, come and never say just do it. I just do it framework. This is my work that I am sharing with you right now. And how it is that we want to focus on, we're getting to organization, guys. We're getting to clarity. We're getting to functionality, because that is what is going to keep us going on in our businesses. So the D, we're talking about declutter. And what does declutter helps us with? Clarity. We cannot run business in a state of clutter in our mind, in our thinking. Can't. We ain't showing up. We may just have some ideas, but if you're so cluttered, you can't operate effectively. You can't achieve that level of organization or productivity that you so desire. Now, O, organize and streamline. We've been talking about organizing. We just have to streamline the things. We just have to get the things on paper. We just have to work it through. And when you organize certain things, you have to implement them. Because we can talk all we want, we can write all we want, we can have fancy stuff, but if we don't implement them, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I think Liz, mix up the time.
See if you can mute the others, please. We need to implement.
For the same time.
And we also need to track and monitor. So this is Blazing Beyond's Do It framework. And if we say we're gonna do it, it takes action to move things. It takes action to even get to productivity. My statement in my bio is excellence is not an act, but a habit. It takes practice, it takes discipline, it takes consistent effort to get to what you want to achieve. And you may not get it in one night, by the way, you won't. I may be triggering your brain, refreshing some thoughts, some knowledge that persons may have before. I may be sharing new thinking, but you ain't gonna fix this tonight. It's not gonna be fixed in one night. So it takes consistent effort, consistent habits to get the things moving. So decluttering, organizing and streamlining, implement, track and monitor will help you achieve clarity, organizing and functionality in your business. Now, I just saw the poll go up. How, which area do you need to, I don't remember the question, clarity.
Improve the most, clarity,
improve the most, or functionality, right? So I don't know if the voting is going on now, you can share the results. Okay, which area?
I'll share it shortly.
Okay. Area in your business do you need to improve on the most? Is it the clarity part? Is it the organization? Is it the functionality? The poll is ready, Tanis?
I'm still seeing voting. I'm still seeing voting. I think no persons are still voting. So far, though, I can say that organization and functionality seems to be leading.
Okay, that's am I at the right place? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough in terms of organization and functionality.
I think we're finished.
So, okay, great. So clarity was 16%, organization 45%, and functionality, yes, functionality important in anything. You need to know if the thing is working or not working, because we can't just do and nothing.
So for Andrea, I'm gonna ask you for Andrea if you could explain the difference, because she indicated that she is having trouble determining which what each category is.
Sure. But is that a determination from Andrea? You can go on live, Mike. Is that a determination just for you not yet where to choose, but you understand the difference between having, organizing what you need to do, but are the things functional? Andrea, if you wish to come on, Mike, no pressure. All right, so while Andrea is working that through, we're just gonna go through the Do It framework a little so that we get a greater understanding. And at that point in time, Andrea can come back.
But she commented to say that she functionality, but could select any other.
All right, I agree. I guess she was, which one was the greater one for her? All right, no problem. So we're gonna just go through the Do It framework very quickly. I know we don't have all the time to finish that through in details, but you're gonna get enough to know where we are. So we're looking at D, which is declutter, and we're still looking at making sure, remember, this is helping us with clarity. How are we sharing our thoughts? How are we documenting our ideas? How are we documenting our things that we have to be done? We can get these done so that we're not keeping the things in our brain and cluttering our brain. We know that once we keep things to do in our brain where, okay, I have this to do, I have this to do, something that is only one thing is already repeated 4 times. So it feels like 4 things, and it feels gigantic that you have so much to do. But if it is that you had documented it, you would have released yourself, released your brain, so that your brain can do some more thinking work for the business, right? You can declutter through your meetings, your discussions with your business. You can declutter through exploring ideas, but you want to be able to declutter. You want to be able to share and dump thoughts, ideas, etc., so that your mind can be clearer. The things that are keeping you up at night, how are you decluttering? The things that are keeping you up at night to be your business, how are you decluttering? How are you decluttering before you even go to bed? Them little things, they're important. So that we don't go to the bed and dream and our brain is just running without any stopping. So decluttering in this framework is important as a process. Sometimes it may just be decluttering at the end of a week, figuring out what next. Decluttering helps with clarity. Now, one of the things that also helps with clarity is when we thinking versus doing. How many of us just jump to the doing? We have a week ahead of us and we just jump and we're just doing. And we don't have no plan, but we just show up. We're just ready to do. We are just ready to do.
Well, we have
so the thinking.
Karen wants to know, what is your recommendation for decluttering before bed?
There are some simple ways how you can declutter before bed. No, decluttering has to start way before bedtime, though. That's the first trick of the game. Has to start way before bedtime. So if bedtime is 10, it cannot be decluttering at 9:45. So there are some, you can choose to say, okay, to be winding down from my business or from my day at a certain time, but it cannot be 15 minutes before bed. Choose like an hour, 2 hours, 1.5 hours before. Decluttering is a matter of thinking. What, you can ask yourself some key questions. What will keep me up if I don't get this out of my brain tonight? What is the thing? What is the one thing or the 2 things that I really must get done tomorrow that I don't want to be thinking about? Write them down in your notepad, get them out, put them in your calendar, put them in your wherever you capture your task. And you know that in the morning it is there. Declutter, unwind. These are practices that you have to take on. It's no longer about trying, or somebody's going to come in with a magic bullet. It's the practices that we take on for ourselves and we choose that's going to make a difference for us. And let me know if that's clear. So how we are, thank you. How we are showing up helps. Now, some of us may just show up to just do, but we haven't thought out the process. We haven't thought out what could help us to move along. And so that thinking, that clarity that we need, that would actually save us some time with the doing, because instead of taking 6 steps, you could take 3. That's what's missing sometimes. We just show up and we just do and we don't think. And I'm not telling you to sit there and think forever, but 30 minutes every day will help you at the beginning of the day. Just 30 minutes will help. So we spoke about D with declutter, and the O, organize and streamline. There are many things to organize, that's just the truth of the matter. Organizing your work and your time, creating categories or areas in your business for greater effectiveness. How are you structuring your day and your week? What is the framework that you have in place for your own personalized action system? How am I going to show up and operate in the business on a daily basis or on a weekly basis? what do you have outlined for yourself? So when we talk about, we're gonna go to these areas. When we talk about organizing and streamlining your business, and yes, it may not capture everything, just some things that are there, or client documents, what contracts go to what types of plans, what forms do people need to complete online? If I send somebody online and they click, can they find the form? So we're organizing and streamlining. What client communication, when my leads and prospects come to me, what communication, do they get 3 pieces of communication before them, to keep them warm? What do they do? How do I communicate with them? Do I have templates already in place with what I need to say to these clients so that I can automate it in the future? My existing clients, how am I communicating with them? How am I keeping them alive? And my very new clients, what am I doing with them? They're now converted. What am I doing? How am I communicating with them? So we're talking about organizing, because I don't want every time when the leads and the existing and the new come, you're running up and down trying to figure out, write a brand new email, what we're going to say to them, all of these things. Or projects or new ideas or new initiatives. How are we bucketing that? How are we organizing? How much time, when in the business, when in the quarter are we looking at this? How are we treating that? Or processes that we have in place, or invoice management. How are we going to organize so that we don't have to be behind it every time? Do we understand or own operating procedures? Can we share it? Have we documented it? The persons who are working with us, do they understand it? If you're bringing on new people, do you have to just repeat yourself each time? Maybe part of organizing is videotaping yourself about these processes. How are we managing that? A lot of, us will also focus on our social media management, to keep abreast. How are you organizing those things? So when we're talking about organizing and streamlining, I could talk about many other buckets, but these are just some of them that exist. If you see something here that you need to work on, put it in the chat. I'm just going to go along, but you can put it in the chat. Now, talk about self-management, and I always have to bring it in. Even when you talk of organize your processes, remember I told you what we have control over. We have control over ourselves, managing our energy, managing our processes. Now, your daily routine. Be clear about what you're accomplishing each day. That means you're organized, structuring yourself each day. You need to be clear about your own daily routine. What are the top 3 things that I'll be doing? The current, from the decluttering from the night before when you were winding down because you don't want to go to bed with them in your brain. You would have realized some top 3 or top 4 things that you need to get accomplished the following day. Those things will help us to focus a little better. So we feel a little bit more organized and a little bit more streamlined. So in the chat, I'm seeing social media management, where we're talking about what are the areas that they saw as some of the areas that they would want to streamline a little better. Past client communication. Yeah, your client did business with you, past clients. How we reach back in touch with them? How do we keep them, keep them back so that they keep them current, so that they know what's going on, they know when something is happening, all of these things, because your past client, they're going to be your repeat client. They are going to be your repeat client. Somebody said, I think social media is a big bucket, a wealth of opportunity lies there. Yes, so you need to organize yourself around that. And
Davina also spoke about setting up a touch-based plan, such as automating your emails on topics that are relevant and linked to a contact for help.
Great. And yes, Davina, because you're touching on it. And once we organize, and also the self-management is important, guys. Always be clear about what you want to accomplish each day. Implementation is a big bucket. What are your standing operating procedures that you're implementing? And you know, it just sound bossy, you know, guys, but it could just really be a little PowerPoint template or a little Word document. I just list out your steps, how you're going to do something. I'm literally working on a project now, and I realize that I don't want to spend my time in the part of executing the process, but I have all the things done already. I have all my videos recorded, and I literally 2 Saturdays ago, I just sat down and I just wrote out the steps. This is it, this is it, this is it. And when I'm ready to pass it on to the person, I'm just handing it to the person to help me, because I don't want to spend my time in that. It's important for me to get out and to get done, but now that I've done my part, I just need to pass it on. And I just sat down and just documented my procedures. And I don't make them complicated at all, right? So people must be able to understand it. Is it functional? Remember, we talk about functionality is when you get to implementation stage. Is it working? Can it work? Does this suit my business? Or I'm just trying to be like another business because I see somebody do it and so I'm going to try it. What are the tools and the templates and the forms and the checklists that you're going to be using? What are the applications that you're going to be using? So if it was Davina who just shared about social media management, there are tools that can help you. So you don't have to show up every day to be posting and to sharing. So it reduces the amount of time, but the planning part is going to be a key for you, right? So when you're talking about implementation, are these things functional? Do these things make sense for my business? Is it working? Is it not working? What checklist do I need? Because sometimes we need a reminder, because when the overwhelm and the burnout happen, the brain don't work. We move slow. So probably need to just double check and look back on the checklist that we all have for ourselves. So that's implementation. And of course, so we talk about the things that you're implementing. Remember, you organize some things, you need to implement them. So even your processes, you need to implement them. There are applications for your invoice management as well. You just need that you can work on. Client communication, there are email marketing tools that you can utilize with client communication. So when you look back at the areas that you have organized and streamlined to implement, what supporting tools do I need, if any? Our calendar is a great tool to help organizing ourselves. So we need to also pay attention to that as well. So on the next thing you do, make sure that you find time to track and monitor. Weekly, monthly, and quarterly review of your own doing. What is working in the business? What is not working? What needs refreshing? We need to focus on that, right? And even if we don't do good at it right now, make some time for it. So as a business owner, your role in achieving productivity in the business, just some key points. When you, the business owner, works from a self-management perspective, the business works more effectively. You have to be committed to maintain processes and workflows in your business. That is what is going to keep you organized and actually keep your business organized and give you back some time in your business. You have to understand areas in your business where the time is leaking, where you don't need to put the time, but something else can be worked out, whether it's an application, an automation, or if you have the time for a resource to help you. Some of the outsourcing, you can look at that as well. Determining what resources and tools you need to keep your business running smoothly will help you from an organization standpoint, not everything that we have to do manually, right? And streamlining your day and week is key. And while I can sit here and talk about boundaries all night, it is important that for boundaries also include not just, okay, I don't want anybody to bother me at this point in time, but also boundaries, decisions for your business. What are the things that because we don't have to try to make every single decision. We have so many decisions to make. That is important. So I want you to not only look at, okay, I'm cutting off communication at this point in time, but just boundaries to do different things inside of your business. That's for a deeper conversation. So you have a role to play in terms of productivity and organization. It's not going to happen overnight, but when you work, so we are going to have to do some self-reflection, looking back at some processes, looking back at how I am showing up in the business, looking back at where are the areas that I need to organize better? Where is my time going? Where am I spending so much time on some of these areas that I may, I could do something else? So we need to look at that, and really and truly streamlining your day and your week is going to be key, because that creates a level of focus for you in your business. Guys, I'm wrapping up. So some of the things that we don't like doing, or it takes up too much time, we're going to have to think about what are the things that we're going to be eliminating. You can do that as an exercise, but you have to choose powerfully, because we can't do everything. What are some of the things that we can automate? You have to think through that. What are some of the things that we can delegate? And delegate, we can talk about that too, but these are those three aspects that you can think about. What are the things I need to eliminate? But choice and decision is key. What are some of the things I can automate, and what are some of the things that I can delegate? So that's the Do It framework: declutter, organize and streamline, implement, and track and monitor. So you can't do everything. Choosing an effective decision-making is key. Take time to think before you do. Clarity is key to organization. Even productivity comes with clarity, and self-management is key in achieving productivity. That ends my session for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It was my pleasure being your presenter and facilitator tonight. I trust that I was able to impact you in some way, shape, or form. And we walk out here with clarity, know how to organize so that we can achieve functionality in our business. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Althea, and I can definitely say yes to everything that you just said. You definitely gave us some valuable information, and I know persons who are here tonight agree. I'm seeing persons like Karen saying that it came just in the nick of time. Chantal said that she really needed this, so I know that the information was well delivered and I've received. And guys, if you have any questions, well, I'll give you a few moments before we leave. If you have any last minute questions that you want to ask, just raise your hand or indicate in the chat window. However, if you want to have a further discussion with Althea or any member of the Resource Center, please let us know. You have our email addresses. You can just send us an email and we will be sure to make contact. I'm so sorry, I just realized that I was actually off camera, but I'm sure you heard everything that I was saying. So if you have any questions, guys, just let me know, and I will be sure to make sure that we have it addressed before you leave. If not, remember, I spoke about our SME Club before, so if you want to be a member of the SME Club, please let us know. We'll be sure to give you guidance in terms of how you can become a member of the family. If you're not a member in our directory, if you're an existing SME client, but you're not in our SME directory, also let us know. We'll be glad to make sure that you are added to the directory. So I'm not seeing any questions. We do have an exit poll. I would love if everyone could just answer before you leave tonight. But if you don't have any questions, that is it. So thank you so much for coming, and we look forward to seeing you at our next workshop. So stay tuned to our social media pages so that you can see the invitation for our next open workshop, and for existing SME clients, look out for the email with the invitation. Have a fabulous night, everyone, and thank you so much for coming.
Smart Business Account for SMEs. Being a business owner is a role that changes constantly. At JMMB Bank, we offer a new type of partnership. We understand and care about the unique needs that come with operating a small or medium-sized business by offering flexibility, partnership, and expert advice to support your successful growth. For you, we've created the JMMB Smart Business Account. The JMMB Smart Business Account is an interest-bearing checking account for registered businesses with an annual revenue of under $450 million, or US dollar equivalent, which gives you the opportunity to maximize the value of every dollar earned. The benefits? No nuisance fees. Never have to deal with monthly service fees, account dormancy fees, and minimum monthly balance requirements. Easy payments. Enjoy free bill payment and free inter- and intra-bank automated clearinghouse ACH transfers within Jamaica. Interest accumulation. Earn